Hey, what's up? This is Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and in this video, we're gonna take a look at solid Tannus tires. Let's go. So I first caught wind of the product when the guys came into our old shop, and they showed us these Tannus solid tires. Now, these are a great e-bike accessory. They prevent flat tires from happening, period. That's it. So these are great for a bike, whether they have a motor or not in all reality, but people ride their electric bikes more than they do their regular bikes. So it stands to reason that with more time on the road, more flats can happen. And this is a solution. So with these solid tires, they replace your tire and tube and they go on the regular wheel. Tannus says that these things are going to last 5,000 miles, and that sounds great. If I can get 5,000 miles without a flat tire, I'm gonna be a happy camper. You take these little pins and you shove them into the bottom towards the bead area of your Tannus tire, and then after you get them aligned in the middle, you use that wedge to sort of force them into the rim that you're using on your bike. One more thing that I really like about the Tannus tires is that they actually sent out some information to a local bike shop here in my area. Tannus Tires wants to get local representation because after you get practice putting things on, it's a lot easier from what I'm told. So we've already partnered with a local bike shop who's going to do the installation, and it wouldn't surprise me if a local shop in your area either already has been contacted by Tannus to try to get things rolling, or if you could be the spark that could get that ball rolling. So I don't have to do the install on these. Let's go ahead to my local bike shop, Jerk's Bike Shop, and we'll make it their problem. All right, here we are. We made it to the bike shop. Let's go. All right, so I am back from the bike shop, and actually some time has elapsed. I've put a fair amount of miles on the tires, and here are my thoughts. I love the tires for what they do. They completely make flats a thing of the past. My first few miles I was actually a little scared because I've tried other solid tires in the past and actually they fell off the wheel with more regularity than I would get a flat tire and I would just be stuck at that point. But such is not the case with Tannus tires. I ran over some goat head caltrops just to rub it in their face. I was so excited. I actually stopped to pluck them out because I didn't want the plant to spread. So I guess the plant kind of wins this battle. With these new tires, I am completely free, 100% from any flats on this bike. I really can't think of anything that would damage the tire that wouldn't just damage the wheel in the first place, but at that point, you got other problems. Anyways, this, my friends, is freedom. Freedom to ride where the wind blows, to explore, always knowing that you're protected from thorns that flatten any bike, no matter how cool the bike is. Even though the bike that I chose isn't really made for it, I decided to go up and down curbs, across grass and gravel, any kind of terrain that I could gather to try to test them, and the tires, they held on super tight. But there is a reason for this. The tires actually feel a bit stiff. Naturally, they can't replicate the cushy feeling of a pneumatic tube with rubber, and the result is that tiny bumps feel a bit bigger, and big bumps, they need to be taken with some skill. I made this kind of hard on myself because I put these tires onto a super stiff bike in the first place, so I imagine if you have a suspension seat post or probably a front shock, it probably wouldn't bother you at all. I got to chatting with the shop guys about the installation, and they've done maybe 30 to 50 of these for their customers. Install is actually really time consuming, getting all those pins in the right center line and then cramming each one into the wheel in a very tight and precise fashion. It's not really a quick thing, even though I kind of showed it as being quick in a time lapse. It's not really complicated, but I can see why Tannus wants to have a shop with skill do the installation. There is one issue I have with the solid Tannus tires. It might sound like hyperbole, but my problem is that it's a really good product and I want it to exist for all sorts of shapes and sizes. They don't have a knobby tread version for off-road, that's kind of a bummer, but more importantly, they only have it for thinner tires, no wider than 1.75 inches of width. And if you haven't noticed, bicycles, and especially electric bikes, are using wider and wider tires. Since I primarily cover new electric bikes, and a lot of those are pretty wide, what am I going to do? But this story has a sequel. Tannus has been slowly expanding their new product line, and some say that this next product is better than the first, and I will be covering it in a later installment. But for now, if you have a tire size within the scope of what Tannus offers for solid tires, I would highly recommend them. Compared to all the patches and tubes and time that you would spend on flats, the solid tires are a worthy investment. You will ride free and clear without a care in the world, and you will never, ever want to go back. Stay tuned to e-bike accessories because you will definitely want to see the next installment from Tannus Tires.